going live right now on Facebook and on YouTube, and I believe we are all set. All right, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to our wellness webinar hosted every Sunday and Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. I'm your host, Aruj. And before we begin, I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about Tarbiya Institute's new online platform, TarbiyaLive. TarbiyaLive is a brand new program geared towards all of our services, but offering them online. We currently offer Quran Teen, which is a 15-minute Quran recitation with a small khatira at the end. That's every night. We have our Friday spiritual talks, tafsira, and our sunnah session. And in the coming weeks, we're adding a lot more programming, so please stay tuned. Today, I have with us Brother Josh Rahbar. Welcome, Brother Josh. Thank you for joining us again. Alaikum salam. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Alhamdulillah. So last week you came and you joined us to talk about physical fitness and the importance of physical fitness. But today we are here to talk about nutrition. So could you just talk about why we eat and what makes eating healthy a challenge, especially now under these circumstances?
So I think under the circumstances we're really under a unique set of challenges here, right? We eat primarily for two reasons. The first reason is going to be the obvious one, that's for our physical needs for energy. And when we look at that, we're really trying to assess a couple different ways that we can cue in to see if we're really truly physically hungry.
Right.
And we're trying to think about your own experience when you feel hunger. How do you know that that's a physical response? What would you say?
I guess pains in my stomach. If I'm really, really hungry, usually I get irritated or hangry, as they say. Those are pretty much the two indicators for myself.
So you feel like your stomach growls. Obviously, mood changes. You get a little irritated or sugar. But in addition to that, you might feel low energy. You might feel maybe a headache. Sometimes if you're going a long period of time, like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, that's also a physical response for hunger as well. So it could be even temporal or time-based. So those are the physical reasons why we eat.
Okay, right. And now, especially, we're in an emotional time. People are stressed. People are anxious. How do emotions play a role in what we do choose to eat?
So emotion is the other reason why we often eat as well, right? So there's two reasons. Physical and the other one would be emotional. The emotional pull on this has a lot to do with, again, those feel-good hormones and wanting to elicit them. So when you think about the emotional response, there's a very real connection between food and mood. So if you take, for example, when you're stressed or you're anxious, we tend to go for those kind of carb-heavy, sweet things. And what we're doing there is that we're eliciting a lot of serotonin.
Right.
And like I said, food and mood has a strong connection. So when I eat carb-heavy stuff, serotonin is the feel-good hormone. It's the one that kind of makes me feel relaxed and calm. That is the response that I'm releasing. So, where we often kind of see like the classic movies where you sit down on the couch and you're sad or whatever it might be, you sit with a tub of ice cream.
Exactly, right.
It really is comforting because we're allowing the hormones to kind of flush through our system to make us feel better. I mean, it's an anti-anxiety essentially. So food and
Okay.
mood is a real connection.
So then if I'm feeling stressed out and I'm eating that ice cream and it's making me feel good because it's releasing serotonin, which clearly is a good thing, isn't that the right approach? Like, shouldn't I eat some ice cream when I'm feeling down?
So it works. It definitely works, and it's why we go back to doing that all the time, right? So it's just a habit, and it's foolproof because again, I eat ice cream and I feel better. But that if we kept going down that route and doing that every single time, that'll obviously lead to more, I guess, health risk, or it's an unhealthy approach.
Right.
Ice cream every time you're feeling stressed can lead to weight gain. You just probably won't feel great. But the good news is that looking at food to release those same feel-good hormones isn't the only way to do that. You can also do things like self-care, whether it's deep breathing, meditation, prayer, right? All of those things help release serotonin as well, and are far more healthy than going to the the ice cream. And also, just like last week, we talked about exercise being that really good complement, right? Of physical
Right.
health. Uh, Doing that as well, so doing a little bit of exercise, going for that walk or whatever it might be, you're also going to get that response too. So it doesn't have to be just from food. It can
Right.
be from self-care or even some physical activity.
Okay, so you're saying basically that even though ice cream makes us feel good temporarily, long term it has negative effects on the body.
Yeah, it's just not going to be a healthy
I
approach,
mean,
and it's also the best.
I know all this is obvious, but
Yeah,
it's sometimes it's good to hear it from somebody who actually knows what they're saying. So
yeah, yeah.
okay, so now that we understand, why we might eat during this time period, what are some ways that we can eat healthy?
So eating healthy, there's so many different ways that we can approach this, and then I feel like everybody has a different way of what healthy means, right?
Hmm.
But when you think about it, the best way to kind of make eating healthy doable is to follow a really simple guideline. There's this concept called the healthy plate,
Hmm.
which is basically doing like think of the plate, right? Got half that plate going to be vegetables, and
Wow.
the other half is going to be divided up between your lean proteins, whether it's animal protein or vegetarian, and then your complex carbohydrates. So
Okay.
to make eating healthy, what I usually say is choose the things that you really do enjoy.
Hmm.
Eating healthy isn't just salads. It could follow the healthy plate model, but you're really just changing up your proportions.
Okay.
So take, for example, pizza, right?
Right.
So if you were to eat pizza, which we all enjoy, in order to approach it in a healthier way, which I think everybody would agree, if you could eat pizza in a healthy way, would be a really good approach,
That'd
right?
be amazing. Yeah.
And you can. So the idea is instead of having 3 or 4 slices of pizza with breadsticks, why let's maybe have 2 pieces of pizza and do
Mhm.
the other half of it with a salad. This way,
Okay.
you're looking from a balanced approach. Or take, for example, like a classic barbecue, right?
Hmm.
Those barbecue plates you get at every little cookout or whatever it might be. They have 3 sections.
Right.
The big section, what do you usually put in it?
Probably some kind of carb or meat.
Yeah, you put a lot of
Yeah,
right.
usually it's the rice if we're at like a party at home, or if it's a barbecue, then meat. Yeah.
Good call. So a bunch of rice or a bunch of meat, and then the other two, if you're at a barbecue, what would you put in it?
Definitely not salad. Probably
Yeah,
potato salad or chips with salsa or something like that.
and that's what you end up walking away with, right?
Right.
But if you were to take just even your barbecue experience and say, how can I apply the healthy plate to this?
Hmm.
Then you might want to just rearrange that a little bit. You're still enjoying the things that you like. You're still going to eat the same meat that you're grilling. And you
Right.
might even get a little bit of that potato salad as well. But you're going to rearrange that so that a quarter of your plate is going to be that potato salad instead of half your plate, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Or even a quarter of it would be your meat instead of half your plate be your meat. And then you just shift things a little bit so that the other half is going to be mostly some kind of non-starchy veggie. You can glue your
Okay.
veggies and throw them in there. So this would be the probably easiest approach to eating healthy. Even now, like when we're cooped up at home and we have limited things to
Hmm.
cook with, still enjoy the foods that you guys are making at home, but they could all just go through, I like to say, a little bit of a recipe rehab, right? How can I
Okay.
approach my biryani recipe and maybe add some more veggies to it, or even put it in a smaller portion size, and do more veggies on the side so that I'm getting a good balanced meal.
Okay. So just so I'm understanding this correctly, you're saying that we can eat whatever we like to eat, but just smaller portions, and then it's okay.
Change the proportion of it exactly, and you're doing a much better job towards your health than you would be otherwise. It's a great step in the right direction.
Okay, good to know. So you talked to us now about proportions with our plates and our meals. Could you maybe share your daily meal schedule with us? Like, how do you proportion out the food that you do eat during the day?
That's a good question. So I know all of us, our routines are off. We're working
Oh
from
yeah.
home, or whatever it might be. When you think about a balanced meal to begin with, something like a lean protein, some complex
Hmm.
You're talking about being able to be full for at least 3, 4 hours.
Right.
And that can hold you over for a good amount of time. So if you think of like a breakfast time, 8 a.m., you have a really balanced breakfast, some eggs, some vegetables, some toast.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
well balanced. That'll hold you over to maybe 10:30 or 11, and then that's time for snack, and then you can shoot for a healthy snack there, and then hold you over till noon. Really, what I like to say is plan your 3 square meals that you normally would: breakfast, lunch, and
Hmm.
dinner, and in between those, plan a healthy snack. That way, we're not falling too far on the end of that physical hunger part. Remember, we said that
Right.
time can be one of those triggers.
Hmm. Hmm. Right.
That way, we're kind of leaning away from that and allowing ourselves to stay kind of fed through the day with things that are healthy without that emotional pull of plan to start at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. Okay. So that's usually actually what happens is that I end up eating my first meal at 12. So then my whole schedule is kind of pushed a lot further. So I end up eating dinner really late, and then
Mm-hmm.
because we don't go to sleep on time, we end up having like the midnight snack, which is also ends up being a meal.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of helps, pace how much we're eating and when we're eating. So you mentioned, eating the healthy snacks. I'm pretty sure what I consider healthy snacks are going to be very different than what you consider healthy snacks. So could you just give us a couple of the things that you do eat?
So I think there's a really good opportunity to plan our meals by making them balanced to give us enough satiety, through our different times of our day, so you can feel
Hmm.
a sense of fullness until your next meal, right? So if you do a healthy snack, I usually say pick a fruit or a vegetable
Uh-huh.
and pair it with some kind of protein or healthy fat.
Okay.
That combination right there would usually hold you over for a couple hours, which again, if you eat at 8 a.m. breakfast, have a snack at 11 or 10:30, and then 2 hours later, about 12:30, that's lunchtime again.
Hmm.
That tends to work really well. So an example of that might be take a veggie like carrots and pair it
Right.
with a protein or a healthy fat. That could be like hummus, or you could
Okay.
do apple and peanut butter, or you could do a cheese stick and some cuties. Those would be, really good ways to just plan those snacks to strategically hold you over until your next meal, and they're going to be healthy.
Okay. I think I eat some of those, so not too far off. Um,
Nice.
Can you I wanted to go back to one of the things that you had mentioned earlier about eating breakfast at 8 a.m. and then hopefully that'll hold us off for about 3 hours, kind
Mm-hmm.
of around that time, that ballpark. Um, in my experience, especially with talking to people and trying to convince them to also eat healthier, and in turn convincing myself, I tend to say the same thing. Like, if you have a meal that's high in protein, high in fiber, and high in the good kind of carbs, then you'll
Mm-hmm.
be full and you won't want to snack later on. Generally, that doesn't necessarily happen. Like, I'll have a meal and then within like an hour, I'll be hungry again. Can you
Mm-hmm.
talk about why that is? Because it's not just myself. I've had that conversation with several people, and it's quite common.
That's a good question. So, when we think about the two reasons for why we eat again, right? Either
Hmm.
being physical or emotional, we know for a fact that physical needs has been met. You eat
Right.
a real good balanced meal, like you said, rich in protein, a lot of fiber. Those things keep you full. But what happens an hour later when all of a sudden you're like, I want to eat again, right?
Right.
Um, More times than not, it's probably going to be an emotional pull on that. So what I like to tell folks is, if that physical checkbox has been met, right? That box
Hmm.
has been checked. Then think about why you want to eat again. Are you bored? It could be from boredom. It could be from stress. I mean, this whole coronavirus thing has everybody wondering what our next weeks are going to look like.
Yeah, exactly.
As routine as they were before. So if there is some type of different emotional pull on that, right? And then boredom does count too, and I think that's probably what a lot of us are feeling as we're sheltering in place.
Hmm.
It could be that, and I'll say the only other thing that I would consider is if you've drank enough water. So
Okay.
if you eat a full meal and you haven't hydrated yourself, um, there's this understanding that we sometimes mistake thirst for hunger. So
Mm-hmm.
if you feel like, okay, I could go for round two, then try drinking a glass of water and see if that holds you down. And more times than not, it usually will.
Okay. That's actually really good advice. Water is very important. So I assumed that I had a role to take when it comes to feeling full.
Yeah.
So with Ramadan coming and not knowing whether or not we'll be doing Ramadan at the masjid or if we'll be doing it ourselves at home, can you give some tips on healthy suhoor and maybe a healthy iftar as well?
Mm-hmm. So, Ramadan's around the corner. It's creeping up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of a healthy suhoor, the idea again is going to be just make it balanced. The more balanced the meal is, the longer it's going to hold you over for. And what a lot of the evidence suggests is that a good balanced meal will hold you over for 4 hours. And what that means again is have a healthy fat. So think of like um, some avocado, right? That'd be a
Okay.
healthy fat support time. Have a complex carbohydrate, so put that on some whole wheat toast. Have some lean protein, so you could do a couple eggs or
Mm-hmm.
some beans. If you had that for sugar, that will hold you over quite some time. And compare that to, for example, the traditional sugars that we sometimes eat,
Right.
uh, made up of cereal or sweet pastries or even
Mm-hmm.
porridge, right? When you have all of that, those are majority simple carbohydrates, and that doesn't keep you full for very long. Those really go away within the first half hour to an hour, and often leave you hungrier.
Right.
So avoid the simple carbohydrates. Eat a really well balanced meal, and that would be the best approach, whether it's breakfast or suhoor or iftar time. Just balance is the key.
So I'm guessing the same thing goes for iftar. Then you would want to eat something balanced and healthy. But then, is there anything extra that we can add to the diet to kind of make up for all of the stuff we didn't eat during the day? Because that's how a lot of us look at it. It's like, oh, I need to eat a whole day's worth of food when it
Mm.
comes to iftar.
That's gonna be a lot.
Sorry.
That's a good question. Definitely don't overeat. That's there's no sense in trying to slam the amount of calories you normally eat an entire day at iftar time, especially if you're missing suhoor, right? And you feel like you maybe
Right.
got to play catch up. But realistically, if you think about it, calorically speaking, we're eating pretty close to our normal amount of calories. I mean, you're still having a breakfast and you're still having a dinner, which I think most
Hmm.
of us have already, and
Right.
are really just skipping that middle meal in the day. Um, so eat a decent portion. Save some room, for your drink and for some air, as the prophetic example suggests, right?
Right.
And don't overeat. You're not missing out. And ideally, when it comes to Ramadan, it's not an opportunity. It's not a weight loss program, and your nutrition's not going to be at its peak. So eat healthy, be moderately active, and engage in the spiritual aspect of it, and let the other pick up the other pieces later on. I wouldn't worry too much about what usually is thrown off as a result.
Okay, good to know. I
Mm-hmm.
had actually a question from one of my friends who knew I was going to be talking to you about this. And she asked specifically for three delicious things you can make with canned beans, just
Mm-hmm.
because right now, with us not being able to, go shopping so often and not having as much of the fruits and vegetables, canned food is what we're, eating most of. So
Mm-hmm.
you had mentioned that you do use beans a lot in your own diet as well. So could you give us like three things that you make with beans?
Yeah, beans are easy and convenient, rich in protein, high in fiber,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna help you fill with satiety again, make you feel full. Some quick recipes that I think are really great. My wife makes a really good bouillon, which is an Afghan bean dish with some uh, onions that have been sautéed and a bunch of spices, and that goes really great on top of anything. Um,
Okay.
so bouillon is a good one. Sometimes, and those are with kidney beans. Lentil soups are great. Those are rich too in protein and fiber. Or I like to do this little avocado chickpea sandwich. You can mash some chickpeas into avocados, put it on some bread, and that really just adds a little bit more nutrient density to it.
I didn't
Um,
realize that you could count that as a sandwich.
that works. You don't have to have meat on
Yeah.
work that way. And then last thing I would say is probably a vegetarian chili. You could do a really good chili with a lot of canned beans, and that'll be pretty easy to throw together. It's usually like a one pot dish.
Okay. That's actually sounds really, really delicious. Do you have a chili recipe that you use that maybe we could share later
Yeah,
on?
I'll send that over to you. Maybe you can post it on the Tarbiya page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So one other question I have is your thoughts on frozen foods and canned foods. Are they healthy? Are they as healthy as fresh foods?
That's a good question. So in the middle of this pandemic, right, we're going to the supermarket and we're seeing some things, maybe our favorite things, are not fully stocked. And the easiest thing that we can grab that has a lot of shelf life is going to be canned or frozen stuff. Absolutely, frozen and canned foods are just as nutritious as its fresh counterparts. The only thing I would say is make sure you read the label. So if you look at a canned, say a canned mixed veggies or something like that,
Hmm.
make sure it just says the actual veggies, water, and maybe salt would be in there. If you're finding it saying things like different colors
Hmm.
or ingredients that you can't pronounce or chemicals or preservatives, then put that one back and look for a different one. Chances are there's a much cleaner um, canned veggie on the shelf, and the same thing goes for frozen. So make sure it's just frozen, and it just says broccoli. It doesn't say
Okay.
broccoli with green color dye and
Yeah.
BHT and something something preservative. Those are the ones you want to kind of just avoid because why eat something that's processed when it can
Right.
be much cleaner than that? You just have to look at the ingredients list, but nonetheless, they're just as nutrient dense as the fresh counterparts, and they give you an opportunity to have it just stocked up and go to wherever you like.
Right. Okay, that's good to know. I actually had a question from somebody on Instagram, I believe. Let me just go back to that question real quick. They asked, is hot dog water a good source of protein and allow you to limit caloric intake?
I probably wouldn't do that. That does not sound good at all. Just drink regular water.
Okay, so that's a no.
That's a no.
Hot dog water. Okay. So that was all the questions that I had. Was there anything that you would like the viewers to take home from this webinar? Any final thoughts or pieces of advice?
I think some final things to take away is ask yourself why you're hungry. I think being sheltering in place, being or quarantining, right, doing all of this, we're probably pulling on a lot of emotional triggers.
Right.
And if you find it to be outside of what we talked about, to be those physical cues, right, feeling of hunger, growling, stomach growling, fatigue, or whatever it might be, then hone in on that emotion and find a better way to cope with it other than food. That'll be the
Okay.
healthiest approach. And then lastly, I would say just avoid the processed snack foods. The best way to eat healthy during any time is to arrange your world to food best. And what that means is not having it in your house. So
Okay.
if you don't have those snack foods coming in and they're not sitting in your pantry kind of staring you down,
Mm-hmm.
you're less likely to eat it because you're not going to go for a drive. And if you do, you're not going to do it every day.
Right.
But just arranging your world, arranging your pantries so that you have healthy things in there and not bring in those processed snack foods. That's going to be a big help.
It's a very, very good tip, actually. If you don't have it at home, you're not going to be eating it.
I like to say if it's not in your house, it's not in your mouth.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, Jazakallah khair, Brother Josh, for joining us again. I really appreciate it. And thank you, viewers, for joining us as well. Don't forget to catch Quran Teen tonight at 7:30 p.m. And we'll see you, inshallah, on Wednesday at 5:30 for the next wellness webinar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.